All right, I'm just shooting a little video here real quick. You guys see that I have a Mach 3 controller up for the Spitfire. And one of the things I did when I started doing this post-processor, I just took the same file over and over, and then I started just writing my different settings on there of how to get it. So this was one of the latest ones I did, just the Huskies thing, and you can see I put new consumables on there. This one I actually didn't have an air dryer set up, and I actually get a better cut. You guys probably already know all this stuff, but I'm learning. So this is kind of where I left off. So you can see back in the V-carve video where I had some of the lead-ins, and I get a little splatter here I got to go clean up, but for the most part it actually cut really nice. And this is 14 gauge stuff. Knock it out, clean it up. But you can see I kind of went through a bunch of different things that actually didn't cut really nice at the start, but then I started getting towards the end, and I think I got it pretty well dialed in. So I'm gonna run this machine in just a second here. What's really important, the only thing you have to do, okay, is, and you can run it without the torch height control on, but you can see I have Huskies file here in the code that comes up, Mach 3 post-processor. So this was the one I edited, and there's all sorts of code there for you. You can see the file it's gonna cut out there that I did in V-carve. But make sure, like I use torch height control all the time, especially on thinner stuff. That really helps. So you have to, with my post processor, you have to, like in CNC, I don't think you have to have this on in the other in sheet cam, but when you're using mine, you have to. Mach 3 then uses all of its settings that were loaded in here to make this work, okay? The other thing is this control box. I found for 14 gauge that this 112 was the best setting voltage as the torch height control is going up and down on the CNC. So if the metal warps, like you can see right here, you can see how that it would actually still cut, and the metal and the torch tip would actually raise because it measures the voltage coming off of the steel, and that controller box helps keep it regulated, so it'll adjust it. But you'll have to mess with the settings. So the higher the voltage setting on there, I have mine at 112, this nozzle will actually come off the steel. So you have to mess with the torch height control on yours to get the right cutting. Too high, you'll get too much spatter and you won't get a nice clean cut. Too low, it's obviously gonna hit this. So one of the things I haven't experimented with is if I have to adjust that voltage, which I probably will with different gauge steels, but that's kind of what I'm working towards on the next one with 10 gauge. So on yours, when you're on the machine, just make sure that the, like I said, you have to mess with this to get your voltage right. I have mine set at 112, and then make sure that torch height control is on. Okay, I have everything ready to go. I have the machine zeroed out. By the way, on the Z-axis up and down, I don't come in and, I just get it close and then I click Z0. So I didn't Z0 it when it was up here. I came down close, but I didn't get it. You guys can see, I didn't get it the exact spot it needs to be because it's gonna come down and touch off and come up, and then the torch height control is gonna kick in and it's gonna adjust it up and down to maintain that voltage that I set on the control box. Okay, hopefully you're not sick yet. So here we go. On here, I'm just gonna hit cycle start. And yes. Okay, so there you go. You can see it cut it out. I just did it over a spot that was already cut. But you can see those different lead-ins. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear me over there. So you can see the different lead-ins. And I did it over, like I said, some junk stuff I had already cut. But you can kind of see where it's at. You can see kind of a lead-in right there. Lead-in right there. That was already actually there. But there's the lead-in. There's the lead-in. So on internal parts that you cut here and there, make sure you have lead-ins. And back in VCarve, it will figure out, if you just choose outside, it will automatically know to do inside here. So I didn't have to actually go and set inside. I highlighted everything in VCarve, and I said, okay, make a toolpath, and it figured out those internal ones automatically. The software is smart enough to figure that out. So have fun with it. There's the video. As I figure out more, I can update you guys, or if you figure out something, let me know. Later, bye.